Welcome to For the Fans. I'm your host, Kevin, and I'm here with CJ with the 5 PMers, and we are here to talk about Week 7 of Big Brother 27. CJ, what's going on?
Just chilling like a guest in the Big Brother house. How about you?
Yes, man. Chilling like Will in the Big Brother house. That is right.
Just performing active listening.
Thank
Yep,
y'all
yep.
for
Chilling
joining
like
us.
Will in the Big Brother house.
Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Wait, we're not doing spoilers yet. Let me take that off. Boom. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, jump in the chat. We have Tasha in the chat. Hey, Tasha. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can check us out every Monday at 7 p.m. Also, happy Labor Day, or for our friends in Canada,
They bored.
Labor Day for those that are hanging out with us. CJ, we weren't sure if we were going to be here this week, but after the week that we've had, there was no way we were going to miss the week this week.
It, it's the first, I feel like, real gameplay week while still maintaining the level of messy we've seen from these idiots this season.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. This house. Okay, so this house, first and foremost, gotta say, still sucks, right?
Yeah,
But they're like being forced to play the game because the game is just still happening, and
yeah.
it's still happening around them, and they're having to do things.
Like, the way that I would describe it is Thursday's episode is the first one I didn't hate watch in a while. Like,
Yeah,
I was genuinely entertained.
yeah, and
And
it's
then
kind of
carried over to last night too.
well, it's kind of because like the like real like non-active players outside of Jimmy, the real like non-active players are all kind of gone,
Yeah.
right? And so we kind of have like the active players left.
But you say active players, but like Adrian thinks he was actively playing. He wasn't. Jimmy was actively playing. Rachel is actively playing. Mickey thinks she's actively playing. And Keanu thinks he's actively playing. But like other than that, no one's really doing anything.
Well, it's well, Morgan for sure actively playing. Like Morgan is active with a capital A.
But
She's
it's funny
actively
because
playing.
she is active and like without spoilers, but jumping to Sunday's episode, she's kind of a puppet. Like everyone has this big like Morgan is a target, Morgan is running the game, but like she was kind of Mickey's right hand and now she's kind of Vince's because
Nah,
she's not
nah, nah,
really
nah.
influencing them.
She ran Vince's HOH, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it because she ran Vince's HOH. She otherwise the judges don't go if Vince has his druthers. Rachel's on the block.
Yeah, cut out.
Point
So
blank. Period. Point blank. Period. Rachel's up. She ran that HOH. Vince is a weasel, though. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump into it. Let's jump into it, right? So let's start off with Keanu's plot. That's where we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off today with Keanu's plot, right? So as we know, let's pull up this chart. Vince is the HOH when we last left you guys. When we last left our heroes? Question mark. Vince was the HOH.
characters. Just
Yeah,
characters.
we last left our characters. Vince was the HOH. And he had Ava, Kelly, and Mickey was on the block. Mickey had the veto. And Keanu was trying to get Catherine up. Oh, Keanu was trying to get Rachel up. Keanu's plot was to get Rachel on the block. Now, the thing that was crazy to me, that Vinny, as Tasha said in the chat, Vinny the Lip was trying to get Vinny was talking to Keanu about getting Rachel up. The information was being shared, right? Keanu's trying to get her up. Vinny tells Rachel. Rachel, as we see in the episode, gets told by Vinny. Rachel immediately goes to Keanu. Keanu takes that information back to Vinny, but he blames Morgan.
But that's because Morgan's a woman.
Correct. This is factual. This is a factual statement. It's because she's a woman. That's why he reports on her. This is true. But this is what's crazy to me about Keanu's plot. Because this ends up being confirmed through his own actions,
Yes.
Rachel says, got him. Fuck Keanu. So, even though Rachel doesn't go up, Benny the Lip does his thing, and he ends up not falling for it. Especially because, props to Rachel, she stalls, she runs out the clock, she runs out the game clock,
Yep.
she kneels the ball, she runs out the clock, and
Which-
stops Keanu from getting up there.
Which is hilarious. Like, low key, that's pretty hilarious. To be like, well, I want to talk to him. Well, I'm not leaving. Yeah. You can talk to him with me in here. Well, I want to have a one-on-one. Okay, well, imagine I'm a coach. Like, I don't know what else you're going to do.
Yeah. The fact that she just stays in the room, and then when he's like tries to come in the room, she like moves to the side, stays right in front of him. We're not doing this. You're not going to be the last one to talk. You're not coming in here. You're not doing this alone.
It's such an old school move, and it's funny because when Rachel was talking about, old school versus new school players and how people didn't backstab back in her day, yes, they did. You just play an honorable game. It's aggressive, but it's honorable. And the fact that you don't lie to the people that you're actually working with.
It's interesting because she's like low-key kind of right, but like they do obviously backstab, you have to, but like people weren't coming for each other like pre-jury. You need each other to get like far in the game.
There was actual alliances.
Correct. And now it's more fluid, which is crazy because then no one can trust anybody. So like, how can you do anything?
Back in her day, when dinosaurs roamed the earth in those Big Brother days, no one cared about being on the right side of the vote.
Yeah. Yeah. There were sides. Sides were created.
Yeah.
It was crazier then, but like now, people are more wanting to make sure that they're not on the wrong side.
Yeah.
It's weird because by trying to get this all set up correctly and be on the, like you said, the right side of the vote, we have people not trusting each other and not being able to form real alliances and real connections, which is leading to the gameplay we're seeing. So Keanu has this bright idea that it's important for Vinny to take her out and not someone himself.
Well, his thing is, I still want Rachel gone, but I can't be the one to take a shot at her because we have a final two, and I kind of think she'll take me to the end.
But like, that's not how a final two works, Keanu. You can't have someone else try to take a shot at her.
And and who else do you have a final two with, Keanu?
Right, and like Keanu, that's the worst part about Keanu, right? Keanu wants to work with Kelly, but Kelly doesn't really want to work with Keanu. He wants to work with Vince, but Vince doesn't really want to work with Keanu.
Yeah.
He wants to work with Lauren, but she doesn't really want to work with Keanu. Rachel wants to work with him, but he doesn't understand how it is to work with someone that actually wants to work with him.
Yeah. Like, if a bunch of people have done you wrong, and then there's one person over there who has done you no wrong, why are you trying to cut the one that didn't cut you?
Make it make sense. And that's why it's so interesting. And like Tasha said in the chat, Keanu lost the plot. He lost the plot in here because that's not how this works. But that's what he tries to do this whole week. So he's pushing for this, but like everything else Keanu does, whatever he wants to happen is not what happens.
If Keanu thinks it's a good idea, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. And like kind of like Loki, if you're thinking about doing something and then Keanu thinks it's a good idea, you should probably rethink what you're thinking.
Yeah.
If you're like, I think I want pancakes, and Keanu's like, pancakes is a good idea. You're like, maybe waffles. maybe waffles, because Keanu said pancakes was a good idea. So maybe not pancakes.
At the same time, you could be like, maybe waffles, and then Keanu's like, oh man, crepes sound delicious, because he lost the plot.
Yeah. That's kind of like how it goes. And so the craziest thing is that, like, because Rachel told him, because she didn't believe that he would be dumb enough. Okay, this is the part I don't understand. And I'm hoping that you can help me. The week before, when Rachel was HOH, she said to Keanu, Riley's coming for you. So that's low-key part of the reason why I put him up. It wasn't really why he put him up, but that's part of the reason. Yeah, he was coming for him. He didn't believe her until Vince also said it when he was like sniveling at one of the many times he was crying. So that ended up being true. It corroborated Rachel's story.
Yeah.
When she confronts him about what Vince said, why does he think that because Rachel's telling him this, she's been true to him so far.
Yes. But he can't identify. I don't know why, but he can't identify when someone's being truthful to him, especially because all people have done have told you lies. So I guess maybe that's shaping his opinion of Rachel, because she seems to be the only one telling the truth. But like, you go around and fact check shit in the house. So if you're fact checking your shit in the house, you would see that her information is accurate.
But even when you fact checked it with Vinny said, Rachel told you what I told you? And he said, no, you didn't tell me though. Morgan told me. Morgan told her.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. So, that leads us to the second thing. Because even though Vinny gets this information and there's a big push by Keanu for the thing to go up, like we said, if Keanu says it's up, we have to go down. Vinny pulls another switcheroo. Mickey takes herself off the block. And with Morgan's insistence, Catherine is the one that ends up on the block.
Yes.
Another one of Vince's allies ends up on the block. Now,
what are the odds? What are the odds?
The part that, so like, this is the part that, like, we obviously on the outside understand that Vince is in the judges. Now, the part that I don't get is why hasn't Vince fully committed to the judges if he's doing the judges' work?
If you're fully committed to the, like, this is
and
what
chat,
I don't.
And chat, can you guys help me out? Bean, Mary, Tasha, can you guys help me out here? Vince is doing the work of the judges. Why does he constantly not fully lean into the judges?
So this is what I'm, like, the math. You know you're about to go to 10, and you have a 5-person alliance. What? It's not hard, Vince. You have a firm 5, and you still have Lauren on your side, so you have 6.
But you don't really have Lauren, right? Because, like,
well, not anymore.
Because you're burning her again, right? So you're obviously burning her again. You're burning Kelly again. You're burning Keanu. Well, like, you could wafer, right? That's fine to like wafer in front of them, so you could continue to try to play the middle in that regard. But like, why do you wafer when you're talking to Morgan? Like, why are you not telling her that I'm judges strong? Why are you still like waffling when you're talking to Rachel? Like, what? Why are you being the way you are? So, Bean says Vince wants his cake and wants to eat it too. Mary said because Vince is a weasel. He is.
Yeah.
Recipe Juice WRLD, because he's weak. He's just a weak-minded, sad man. This is true. Todd says, I don't know what Vince wants to do. Vince doesn't want to pick a side. It doesn't make sense because because you're doing the work. Like you're actively doing the work of the judges.
Yeah. So like, just go Judges Strong. And if you really don't want to be Judges Strong, stop being Judges Strong at 9.
Yeah, yeah. No, but not even that. Not even that. If you are planning on turning on them, that's also fine. But if I'm using the pen to sign the orders, I'm going to at least pretend.
Yeah. I am so happy to be doing this. And
Yes.
when I stab you in the back, you won't see it coming. Because
Correct.
jumping ahead in Sunday's episode, when Rachel's like, I need someone, as she's justifying working with Keanu again, you have Morgan and Vince are a final 2. Will and Ashley, although not confirmed, probably a final 2, which leaves Rachel at 3 at best if the judges make it to 5. She has to win at 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's and really in the judges, that's where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
Because like since you know that those 2-2s, there's no way that Vince and Morgan can trust Will and Ashley, and there's no way Will and Ashley can trust Vince and Morgan. So
Correct.
that you're in the middle. That's a perfect place to be.
And if you get to 5, you pick a side, you go 4. If you happen to be in power at 4, you put the other pair up.
And well, in the chat, Tasha says his number 2's on board with the judges, but he continues to sabotage them. And that's what's crazy, is because is sabotaging them while doing their work. Putting Catherine on the block is their work. Putting on his final 2 ally and Kelly is their work.
Wait, hold on. He has a lot of final 2s.
But like
But you say final 2 ally Kelly, but
even
Morgan's
that part,
the only final 2 he hasn't burned yet.
But even in that part, like, he's doing their work. If he's doing the work for them, lean in. Lean in, because his number 2's on board. Well, shit, now she's my number 1 because of where we've positioned.
Yeah.
I know that I have a final 2 at Lauren, but I can't really worry that much about it because, fuck, I just burned her again. So, me and Morgan, ride or die, bad boys for life. Like, that's really what it is.
But, like, realistically, it makes me wonder if, let's say Catherine had fallen at 3 on the wall and it was him and Lauren.
Wait, pause, because B Bean says the less he leans in, the more he can deny. Your hands are bloody, my guy. Your hands are drenched in blood.
It's like saying I didn't do it, but the cops walked in with you holding the knife with the body.
And I'm not even talking on the Adrian vote. Lauren used the veto and took you off the block. Her best friend's boyfriend went up in your stead, and then you fired the gun to take him out, and then turned around and said, I don't know what happened.
And then his girlfriend goes up and you shot her too.
Well, then you shot his girlfriend. Like, you're the one that put his girlfriend in the position.
But this is what I was going to say. If Catherine falls and it's him and Lauren at 2 on the wall, does he drop on purpose so he doesn't have to tip his hand?
If it's him
Probably.
and Lauren? Yeah.
Probably.
Lauren,
he lets Lauren win, and then he tries to influence her. And she's probably not nearly as pissed at him because the Riley vote was so close.
If Catherine makes a deal, I think he goes back on the deal once Morgan starts talking to him about it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He would have gone back on the Catherine deal. And the whole thing with Catherine going home, I think she said it best in her exit, or like her final words before the vote, when she was saying, hey, if you decide to keep me, I could be good for your game. Oh, also, all of you like Ava, no one's going to vote her out. So people are going to use her as a weapon against you. If you're sitting next to her, you're good as well. Like, you're going home. So I think Catherine also put a spotlight on Ava that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
This is outside of the Vinny conversation, but like, he's just blowing up people's games left and right.
Vinny's betrayal of his friends for an alliance he doesn't want just doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. I just lean like I get the plausible deniability if you weren't already so deep.
He's very just like, I don't know if he understands the game. I know he's seen the game by how he's been playing the game and trying to be Littlefinger.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he understands the game at this point. Because obviously his strategy was to play the middle. But if there is no middle, you have to pick a side. And if you have to pick a side, pick the side with the numbers. It's not hard.
It just
and own it. That's the problem. He's not owning anything.
And it's well, we're gonna get to him not owning anything in a minute. Vince ends up putting up Catherine, and how do you think Lauren feels?
Oh, she was so excited. So excited to vote for Catherine.
No, she was like, bruh, I should let your ass go home, dog. I should let your ass go home.
Yo.
Like, I used that veto and took your ass down. I should have let you go home. Like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did this.
I just think it's funny that she's seeing what everyone else saw, which is, I can't work with this dude.
Yeah. Like, because he's proven it time and time again. Like, he's really lost.
He has no credibility in the house.
None whatsoever. And I've never seen people lose their mystique so much like I have in this house.
Yeah.
And like lose their power so much in this house. So after the veto meeting, we see after the veto meeting, Rachel's pissed.
Yeah.
Rachel doesn't go on the block. And she's still furious.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe you shouldn't have mentioned my name.
She goes at Keanu. And Keanu's like, I don't understand why you're so mad. And they have it out in the boxing gym.
But not actually boxing, just verbally sparring.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, this was quite the interesting conversation.
Also, to B Bean's point about Vinny having to have some credibility to be in the judges, I don't think so. I think that Rachel knows she needs numbers, and he's a number.
When the judges was formed, it was to make sure Riley went home.
Yes.
And so that was a numbers game. And then Morgan, an insistence by Morgan, because they needed Morgan to stay, and for Riley to go home in case Mickey won the blockbuster, which she ended up doing.
Yep.
And so that's why he was there, and then he stuck around. Now, when Rachel and Keanu are talking, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hurt feelings. I watched this live when it happened on the Monday last week. We talked about it a little bit because it happened right after the veto meeting. It was a long talk. I can't really remember what happened in the edited episode from last week. But in the conversation, Rachel talks about how he betrayed her and he turned on her and she's trusted him. And Vince told him this. He's like, no, Morgan told you. And she's like, no, Vince did. And he's like, right, because Morgan told you. And she's like, whatever. Like,
It can't be a man's fault, obviously.
Correct. But anyway, you tried to get me on the block. And she's like, but you didn't go up there. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're supposed to be the final two. I can't trust you, Keanu. Like, what kind of, like, we're supposed to be working together. And in that conversation, it was interesting because you could see that Keanu understood what was happening. Truly. Because she's coming at him very bad.
Yeah.
And like we saw in the episode, she like gives him the cold shoulder. They have a little fight. I like Rachel and Keanu because they can fight publicly.
Yeah, they're frenemies.
And then they can like have a conversation later.
Because somehow they're both adults. I say somehow.
They're both in their 30s.
Somehow in relation to Keanu, but they're adults.
Yeah, because they're both in their 30s.
Yeah.
So they can have an actual fight. And he's like, fuck you. And like, they're like mad at each other. And then they come back later and they're like, so what's going on? Because Taryn on Robin's podcast has said it several times. He thinks that I think that he's correct. Rachel genuinely likes Keanu as a person.
Yeah.
She like wants to work with him because she likes talking to him. He genuinely likes Rachel as a person.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like I want to work with you. Well, I want to work with you too. But we can't agree on how to get there.
Yeah.
So because we can't agree on how to get there, Rachel keeps working at it. But Keanu's like, well, I need to take a shot at her because we don't agree.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Correct. And so Rachel's anger is justified. It's true. And she's like, I'm trying to figure out how to get through your thick skull, how we can work together. And it was funny because in that live conversation, at the end, when Rachel like gives it to him with double barreled, she's like, I don't want to work with you. And he's like, well, I think I'm going to try to make this up to you. I'm going to win HOH. And I'm not going to put you up, and that's how I'm going to prove it to you. And then she's like, all right, whatever, that's a start, but whatever, right?
Yeah, because I don't believe you anyway.
Yeah, so he leaves. And then what was not shown in the episodes, he's like talking to himself, and he's like, oh, he said before she left, she's like, how you feel about me is how I feel about Vince. It's how you want to trust me, but you can't. I want to trust him, but I guess I can't.
Yeah.
And then when he left, she's like, I think that's what it is.
Maybe?
It's me being right here in the chat says Keanu has a longtime girlfriend. She's a mom with kids, and they're not his, and outside the house, so he can navigate complex relationships. So that's an interesting situation. So he's been with someone who's an adult. So yes. He's been in an adult relationship. So him fighting with Rachel's another adult.
Yes.
So
there's not a lot of them in the house.
He's been in adult fights with another adult before. So he constantly has adult fights. So he knows how to fight like an adult and then come back and have an adult conversation afterwards. So that's why he could figure this out. It's taken him a minute for it to get through his skull, but constantly he sees that Vince, the same thing we've been talking about forever, Vince fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it. Vince fucking sucks.
He's so weaselly, and Keanu has just been overlooking it because he, like I said originally, I don't know if Keanu knows that he's sexist, but he tends to just not listen to the women in the house. And I think he's finally gotten past that where he's, okay, maybe I need to listen to the women in the house. I don't know. Because we see by the end of yesterday's episode, he's actively trying to fix things with Rachel, and he's actively trying to work with Kelly.
Well, he's been trying to work with Kelly the whole time.
Yeah, but like, he's vocalizing it to her now.
He's always been vocalizing it. Kelly didn't want to work with him.
I feel like when I watch the feeds, they're just chilling.
Nah, Kelly's
not playing the game either.
No, Kelly didn't want to work with him, and then Kelly realized, oh, that's what it looks like when someone wants to work with you, and Vince fucking sucks. And this is what it looks like when someone doesn't actually want to work with you. Yeah. Keanu actually wants to work with you. My bad. That's on me. She still doesn't realize that Rachel wanted to fucking work with her, but
It is what
Kelly
it is.
also sucks. But with the Rachel's wrath, though, I like the fact that Rachel Riley is very authentic. I think it's
Yes.
funny that they keep calling that Vince constantly calls her a manipulator because I'm not seeing any high level manipulation by Rachel.
It's like the pot calling the kettle a toaster.
Well, chat, do you guys see any high level manipulation by Rachel?
You are you better question. Are you manipulating someone if you're telling them the truth?
No.
Like, I guess if you're withholding information and using it at the right time, like Michael and Brittany, then maybe. But other than that, no. I can't really think of another time.
I think Tosh just hit the nail on the head. Vince is the main one calling her a manipulator, and Vince is projecting. Vince is a manipulator through and through. He tries to use emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
Rachel couldn't even convince her sister to agree with her to say so no. She couldn't even get her sister to go on a show with her, so no. Like,
Yeah.
That's why when we're watching Rachel, and the thing that's really interesting to me about Rachel now versus Rachel in 12 and 13 was Rachel is so much more likable now. So the people that she's with, like she's locked in with Ashley because Ashley likes her. Will likes her.
Yeah.
Mickey actually likes her. Ava likes her. Like these
Yeah.
people like her.
I just remember how abrasive she used to be, and she has calmed
When she was
down
young.
so much.
She's so much different now. So like her influence is just her like her truthiness, if you will. And it creates like a likability factor because she's a tell it like it is kind of person. Her, as we've already talked about, her comebacks aren't witty.
Nah.
She's not quick,
Nope.
but she's not fearful.
Yeah. She Rachel will tell you exactly what's on her mind.
Yeah, yeah. Natasha says she's watching BB12 now, and she doesn't seem so bad. They didn't seem to like her though. Does that part track still? Because I mean that was so long ago.
And I do wonder how much of that is just showmance. Like looking back on it, because I haven't watched that season since we as roommates watched that season.
15 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
16 years
And
ago?
like all I can think is showmance? Maybe why? They didn't like her?
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. They it's just an interesting thing for like them to even try to say she's a manipulator when she's just telling the truth. Well, Vince to try to say that, but it's just she tells the truth to Keanu, and Keanu just it takes him a minute to understand that she's just trying to get through to him and to help his game truly. That's the part that's the interesting thing about it.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, when they're in sequester, did they get either of the Rachel seasons?
They did not. I do not believe they did because
I don't think they
Keanu
did
said
either.
he never saw her seasons.
I mean, he might have just not watched it
And
while he was
none
in
of
sequester.
none of them know anything about her except for Lauren, and she watched it when she was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you had seen her season, you would know she's loyal. And I wonder if it would have changed the perception of her in the house instead of she's this master manipulator strategist, because she is not. She's a bull in a china shop. And, like, she won by being a comp beast.
Yeah. She won competitions, and she's older now, so she doesn't have like that same je ne sais quoi. Like
Yeah.
it's different now. But this Rachel's Wrath situation, led us to this point. Catherine gets evicted, yada yada, no one cares. She goes on a media tour. She says Riley didn't, whatever. I don't care. She's gone. She's out in the world. Riley and her are gonna maybe get together. She'll have another baby. He'll have another baby out there. I don't know. They'll do something. Maybe we'll see them again. Maybe we won't. In the chat, someone said that's giving Stockholm syndrome. It is. I don't know.
It is.
Catherine.
We've been saying that for a while. Even Catherine's family has been saying it on social media. So, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We're on to what's going on now. We have the next HOH competition. Rachel is dead set on getting Keanu up there. Vince is the outgoing HOH. We need the judges. In order for our heroes, which is Rachel, to survive, we need the judges to win the veto, or an HOH. Quickly, the judges fall. Final
they went
two
into recess.
in the HOH. The judges go into recess, and the final two in the HOH competition are Keanu and Kelly. Kelly is worst case scenario because Kelly should have been gone during the Jimmy week, but she's still here, and she sucks.
Kelly should have been gone so many times.
Yes,
and she's gonna make jury.
And Keanu knows. Keanu's in line with Kelly, but he knows that his ally is Rachel. In order for Rachel to still be here, Kelly cannot be the HOH.
Yes.
Keanu pulls it out. Keanu's the new HOH, and thus begins Keanu's redemption.
Can I say, before we go into the details of Keanu's redemption, this is the first time I didn't hate watch a Sunday episode. And this is the first time I was actively cheering for Keanu at any point this season.
Yeah. I was rooting because I'm definitely cheering against Kelly at all times.
I'm not happy with his thought process for who needs to go up and why. Mm-hmm. But at least one of the people who needs to go up and why. But I am very happy with how he handled things and actively played the game, and it was fantastic to watch.
Now, I've named this segment Keanu's Redemption because on Thursday evening into Thursday night Big Brother time, I was up late into the night because I was just around. And I saw that Keanu had won the HOH competition, and I needed to see what was going to happen.
So I didn't see it Thursday night. I saw it Friday morning, and I look at my phone while I'm in the bedroom, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And my wife wakes up and looks at me and says, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh yeah."
This Keanu's Redemption is one of the greatest things that I've ever seen, because this was
also Mary and Cass talking about there's no way Keanu could win America's favorite player in the chat. Unfortunately, show only watchers like Keanu.
I don't know how Facebook is saying. They might love Keanu. Cass and Mary, get to work. Make sure.
Yeah.
Stuff the ballot box for Will. Get Will that vote, y'all.
Get Will the vote.
Hashtag get Will the vote. But when I saw that Keanu won, I switched on the feeds. And I saw him get his letter. And he read the letter from his mom. And he was crying. He was like a blubbering dude. She was talking about him being the man that he needs to be, and it was a real character about the character, and a real character moment for him. Will gives him this giant hug. Mary in the chat, don't worry, we know where to get the bots. Let's go, Mary. Get the bots. Get the bots going. AFP making people believe they should play like Cam and Tucker. That's not the gig. Thank you.
It is not
Thank
the gig.
you.
If
Cass,
side
and
note,
will we trust?
Wait, hold on. Side note: if Kelly won America's Favorite Player, would that make you stop watching the show?
No, it would not.
I would think about it. I'd have to think about it because if that's America's Favorite Player, it's going to tell casting we need more Kellys. I can't watch that show.
Nah. Like right here, I'm leaving Cass's comment up there for a little while. And will we trust? So after Will gives Keanu this giant dad like hug, right? Keanu's in there in his HOH room. He's kind of talking to himself, and he's like getting himself like psyched up. He already knows what he's gonna do. He tells Lauren straight up, like, I can't say much, but you're good to go. You're fine. He tells Ashley, and this is all not episode, right? He tells Ashley, you don't have to worry. I want you here. I want to work with Rachel. You're good with Rachel.
So you're good
fine.
with me.
Yeah.
You're good with Rachel.
And
she's like,
oh.
Well, because she fully expected to go up.
Yeah, she's like, oh. Okay. I mean, what do you want me to do about Vito? If, like, you want me to keep your noms the same or whatever? She's like, yeah. Okay. Sounds great. I mean, cool. He tells, as you saw in the episode, he gives Kelly a big hug. He says, we got this. He already knows what he's going to do. I'm thinking we're doing Ashley. I thought we were going to do originally Ashley, Mickey, Morgan. I thought that's what we were doing from the jump.
I thought that's what we were doing too.
I watch as he sits down with Vinny. And I watch as Vinny starts to go like, hey man, hey, I'm so excited for you. I'm excited, like, you know, so like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Keanu's very quiet. He's very stoic. And he's like, you know, basically says, I want Morgan to go home this week.
Yeah.
And Vinny's like, okay. How are we gonna, like, you know? I get it.
How do we get there?
yeah, I get it. So I hope you're not thinking about me. And he's like, well, I just saw an episode. He's like, I know that there's only one person that might use the veto on her. He's like, no, you don't have to put me up. You don't have to put me up. I won't use the veto on her at all. And then he quickly starts scrambling. And now, as I'm watching this live, and mind you, this went on for about an hour. He is scrambling. He looked like a rat in a cage. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are Harry Potter fans, but I'm watching this, and I'm immediately thinking of Wormtail when he, like, is confronted by Voldemort. And Scabbers when he's, like, Peter Pettigrew when he's confronted by Voldemort, and he starts running around and looking beady-eyed. He starts crying. Keanu's just sitting there stoically and not saying much. Vinny is crying. He's saying, what about Ashley? She's not doing shit. What about Rachel? She's a manipulator. What about, can't you do one of them? I won't use it on Morgan. How can I do it on this side? I know I fucked up, man. Give me one more chance. Give me one more shot. Give me one more chance. It was crazy the way he was just scrambling. And as you know, CJ, as chat knows, I do not respect Vinny the Weasel at all. And I lost even more respect watching as he was willing to, like, not even chuck Morgan in the game. Watching him just, like, be even more slimy to try to escape the clutches, and watching Keanu, like, play with his food. As BB says in the chat, you see as Keanu enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right? As he sat there. And then it was gross. It was sick. It was gross.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts when you watched it on the episode?
watching Vinny be the weasel that he is, all I could think was on brand. But it's funny because when I said it was the first time I actively cheered for Keanu all season, it's because he was reading Vinny the Riot Act. So because he was reading Vinny the Riot Act, I was on board because somebody finally said something. Like, he said what we've all been thinking.
I've been thinking, we have a show weekly. It's what we've been saying.
Yeah. But somebody finally said it to him. Like, he didn't have to wait for exit press to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, at one point, there's some lines he said, yeah, man, you know, I one more week, man. I just got to make one more week. I got jury. They're saying things in the chat about him being unemployed. He's like, one more week. It'll help me out financially outside of here. I know I can't talk about that, but like, you gotta help me out, man. Just like one more week, it'll set me up better. Come on, man. Come on, not on your HOH, man. Come on, man. Fuck, man. Fuck. Come on.
You forgot to put your hood up too.
Yeah, to
make it look even more Weasley.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, it was crazy.
Please, sir, please.
Like, it was
please.
No. And he said, and another thing, when Keanu says, "I traded 3 allies for 1." Yes, Adrian, Riley, Catherine, because you did this.
Yeah.
You got them out. You flipped on Adrian when you were supposed to vote him no matter what. You didn't do it. He said, we didn't have the vote. Zach wasn't going to do it. But you said you're going to vote him no matter what. And you're telling me that you do the sympathy vote? Yeah, they said it was a sympathy vote. And then they tricked me. And then you put up Catherine. You know Rachel's a manipulator. What? He said you keep getting finessed by them, dog. What? How?
If they're a manipulator, how do you let yourself continually be manipulated if you know they're a manipulator?
And going back to what we said earlier, he has not ever dimed out the judges.
Yeah.
So why aren't you leaning in?
Yes.
I don't get it. So watching Keanu tell him he's not good for nothing. And he tells him, he says, I'll do anything, man. I'll do anything. And Keanu says, anything? He says, yeah, man, I'll beg. He says, I don't need you to beg. I need you to win.
Yeah. The fact that Keanu said, look, like, you're not good for my game because you keep cutting my allies, which, yes, true. Thank you, someone, for finally acknowledging it instead of sending your best friend out on your own HOH.
CJ, even better, he tells him, he says, if you go home, then I know that at least no more of my allies will go home.
Yes. Yes. Like, I don't understand why Vinny thinks he can save himself. I guess because all the crying and sniveling has worked before.
Yeah, possibly. So I was talking to a friend of mine who's a big Brother fan, and we were talking about Vinny. And she was like, I bet the crying and sniveling worked for Vinny when he was a child. And he always got whatever he wanted because it worked as a child. And he has just constantly done it, which is why Vinny at 34 or whatever still is at home and is allowed to find himself, because it's worked all his life with his parents. And it doesn't work now because he's an adult, but it worked then, and he's just gotten good at it. And I said, you may be right. Because I could never even imagine doing this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine gaslighting like this.
Yeah.
I couldn't even bring myself to do. And the attempt at the emotional manipulation that Vince constantly tries to do. is beside me. I just don't get it.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah. I don't I don't know how he got in so good with everyone to begin with at this point, other than I guess he's a likable sleazeball.
But like he's burned them all so much. Kelly's done with them. She's
No, I know.
literally done.
But like the fact that he even got in a position to burn everyone in the first place points that he's likable.
Yeah, yeah. He had likability to him. I mean, Tasha said earlier in the chat. Tasha said she liked him at first, but like now she's done with him. And same. He
Same.
seemed like he was playing a good game. And like someone said last week, right, about Andy. Andy on Twitter said, "Do not compare me to Andy. Do not compare me to Vince. I had a great social game. I was very well liked. I had a job, and people wanted to work with me.
Yes.
This is all factual."
Yeah. We've talked about before how I like, and people don't agree with me, but like I actually like Nicole Franzel because she's my kind of messy.
Mm-hmm.
Vince is the bad version of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if she's the kind of messy that I find likable, he's the like thin line of between love and hate.
It's just so bad. But Keanu tells him that night, and then the next day, Keanu tells him again. Like Vinny pulls himself together. He comes back to Keanu. He's like, I was very emotional yesterday, and today I want to talk to you. Like, see if maybe you could change your mind. And Keanu says, "Well, Vince, I'm not changing my mind. You're gonna go up." And then maybe that give you some fight to win. Maybe you go earn your spot because you got to go do what you got to do and try to like take yourself off the block. I don't want you to go home, but if you go home, maybe that's fine because then I can find me an ally that's going to work with me because you're not a good ally.
Yeah, and it's funny because Vinny starts sniveling. And he says, like Vinny said, it's not fair. He's like, how is it not fair? I'm giving you 2 chances to save yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can Vinny even say to that other than just more crocodile tears?
Right. And we saw this the first time Vinny was on the block, right? It's just it's a immediate scramble to like get out of the cage. The moment he gets in the cage, he's constantly trying to scramble to get out of the cage. He doesn't sit, he doesn't think through what makes sense. It's just a quick, constant scramble.
Yes.
And it's very unbecoming.
And it's not only he's freaking out because he can't sit in the cage, but he's really freaking out because Morgan can't sit in the cage with him.
I don't think he wants Morgan in the cage with him.
No, he doesn't. And I think it's hilarious when during Morgan and Keanu's late night talk, which was at like 4 a.m. Friday morning, 4 a.m. Big Brother time, when he's trying to make a quesadilla and go to bed, and Keanu's talking to her, and she's like, I don't want Vince to go up, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, the only people that I said this to was you and Vince. And if you're telling me that you didn't tell Rachel, then Vince told Rachel, which is a reason to put him up. And Morgan's like, well, damn, you caught me. It's not her fault he went up. He's been being a weasel.
Yes. And he constantly is like, they're going to think I'm a weasel because you are a weasel. No one thinks that you are.
It's like a weasel wearing Mickey Mouse ears being mad that, no, we can still see you're a weasel. You're not a mouse. You're a weasel.
It's such a weird situation. And Keanu tells Rachel that he doesn't want to put up Ashley. He's not putting her up because that's what he told her.
Well, not only that, he said, look, I can't stand Ashley, but you like Ashley, so I'm not putting up Ashley. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's because I'm trying to prove to you I want to work with you. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Just great TV of like, I can't stand her, but I know I need numbers, so I'm going to work with her until I don't have to work with her anymore. That's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Now that's an initial nom. I can't tell you about a renom, but as an initial nom, I'm not putting her up. And so we end up with Mickey, Morgan, and Vince on the block at the end of the episode. He dresses down Vince in the speech. Vince is the reason that all his allies ended up on the block, are gone, I should say. Vince's own allies don't want to work with him. He doesn't want to lean in on the judges. So this is kind of a man without a country. So
yeah,
that's where we're at so far in the episode.
I don't have anything else to say except I'm ready to go to spoilers because these people are they're so dumb, but this is the first time that they have been gameplay entertaining while maintaining their same level of stupidity.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys are leaving us now, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern to discuss everything that happens with the rest of Keanu's HOH and talk about the new HOH's week as of late. Also, make sure, like I said, like and subscribe, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Thank you for joining us. If you're leaving now, if you're sticking around for spoilers, get out of here. All right.
Man, I thought they'd never leave.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, CJ. Spoiler time. So as we know, Vince is the one on the block. Keanu's the HOH. Keanu's the HOH. Vince is on the block. Morgan's on the block. Mickey's on the block. Keanu does not want Morgan to win the HOH. Keanu, in fact, doesn't want the Morgan to win the HOH so badly that he wants to make sure he can stack the HOH competition, the veto competition, to the best of his ability. He asked Kelly that if she can play, she should ask Vince that she can play for Vince. He decides he also wants Vince to come down if he can, because he decides that he wants Vince to stay still because he can't just quit the guy, Because he can't quit the guy, Yeah.
No, Vince is a man, and Keanu likes men.
Correct. He likes dudes, and so he's a guy's guy, and so he asked Lauren if he can pick someone to play. Can Lauren play for him? And she says sure, because she is good at comps. And so, rumor has it, and I'm sure we're going to see in this episode, I think Keanu gets house guest choice. And he asked who wants to play. And from what it sounded like, Rachel raised her hand. And then he said Lauren.
Nice.
That's what it sounded like happened. So Lauren is playing in the veto competition, and Kelly got picked to play in the veto competition. So the field is Lauren, Kelly, Keanu, Mickey, Morgan, and Vince. So this veto is getting used.
Yes.
Facts. Like, this veto is being played. So competition happened. I don't know what the competition was.
It was a stacking comp.
It's some kind of stacking comp. Yes, that's correct. It was some kind of stacking comp. When they come back from the veto is around Morgan's neck. Because just like every time Big Brother, the thing that the HOH wants to not happen always happens. And I love this show so fucking much. Because the worst case scenario for the HOH is always the thing that happens because this show is great.
Because if this season couldn't get any messier, they wanted to make it messier.
Yeah, it gets messier. It just always does. So, he has one main target. It's Morgan. So, obviously, Morgan's safe. So, the thing that then happens is that now the new thing is, will Morgan use the veto on herself? Now, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said on the show. But I had to say it because that was a thing over the weekend.
And also, Tucker. Just Tucker.
But Morgan's not Tucker.
I know, but
like
because
Kelly's
he
Tucker.
played.
No. Kelly's Tucker, right? Morgan's
True, but
not Tucker.
But it's one of Morgan's not Tucker, and I am 99.9% sure that Morgan's not going to pull a Tucker. But crazier things have happened.
You couldn't have been 99% sure because she wasn't 99% sure. Because CJ, what you didn't know over the weekend was yesterday we came damn close
To her using it on Vinny and pulling him off.
Yes. So
why?
What happened?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I know this happened.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why anyone will put their neck out for Vinny. And now I'm wondering, because after they were both up, they didn't show it on the episode, but they had some very long, uncomfortable hugs that the rest of the house cast clocked. That didn't make it on the episode, but they were.
No, they made it on the episode. We watched them hug.
Oh, I mean, but we only watched part of it.
We watched them hug. There was some hugs.
Yeah, you know the 2 long hugs they showed during the episode, and it was starting to get uncomfortable. Well, they cut to something else, and it continued to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But what they don't show is the rest of the house guests seeing them still hugging and then talking about it.
Yeah. The other day, Rachel was talking to Ashley, and she's like, Ava counted. They hugged for 14 seconds. A 14-second hug.
I wonder if she started counting from the beginning of the hug, or did she notice they were hugging and then counted?
They've all been watching them hug. They hug for an extremely long time. It's interesting. Now this is and Tasha's hitting the nail on the head because this is what I want to talk about, because Vince is so slimy. This is where it gets crazy. So Keanu says Saturday, let's convince her to use the veto on you. And Vince is like, I don't think that's going to work, but let's try. So crazy to me, because this woman will do anything to protect you, and she's been proving that. So he asks her, and she's like, nah. Rachel and Ashley are like, you shouldn't do that. You should be using it on yourself. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You should.
Are you on the
block?
block?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's
Save
like, no,
yourself.
I'm gonna use it on myself. She, in fact, said to Vince at one point, I think I'm the target. He says, I think so. Knowing full well that she's the target, Keanu said that to him, full stop. Right?
Yeah. She's the target, and I don't want you to pull her off, so you're going to sit next to her.
Right. He said that, full stop. So, on Sunday, the cockamamie story is that if Morgan uses the veto on Vince, Keanu will put Lauren on the block in his place. Then Lauren, Morgan, and Mickey will be on the block. That's the cockamamie story. Now,
why?
The question is, why wouldn't he just do that when Morgan takes herself off the block?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're all pushing for. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
He says, nah, I can't do that. Optics. But if you do that, give it to Vinny, then we could do it. She's like, let me think about it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Let me think about it. They go into a separate room, and Vinny's like, it makes so much sense. Listen, if you use the veto on me, then we could do it. And then that gains Keanu's trust. And then it protects me. And then I can make sure we keep you. And I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me. Like this person has been working with you, and you're actually not just entertaining this, you're pushing this. Like, you'll stop at nothing. You'll stop at nothing. You are disgusting. Instead of trying to figure out how you can get the votes, you're just going to try to convince her. Like, if she's trying to do everything to make sure you both stay.
As you said earlier, once he's on the block, he's in scramble mode. He's not thinking any of this out. All he's thinking is, how do I get off the block? And then if he doesn't get off the block by the veto ceremony, then it becomes, how do I get the votes? Or no, how do I win the blockbuster? And then if he doesn't win the blockbuster, that's when it becomes, how do I get the votes? Because he has no foresight.
It's wild. And like, mind you, Rachel's been saying, oh, Judge is full force because she didn't want Ashley to go up. And she knows that Morgan does not want Vince on the block. So she's been trying to say, we're going to save Vince, knowing full well that if Ashley goes up, Ashley's the one going to be saved. Right?
Yeah.
And so she knows what she needs to lean into because she needs to talk to Morgan on Morgan's level. Vince is willing to cut anybody for Vince. But we're at 10 people left. We're not at the end. Vince will have nobody. He has no idea how this game has to be played. And it's crazy because you have to look out for yourself, but you can't get there alone.
Can you imagine sending home the one person actively trying to work with you at 10?
The one person, after you screwed everyone else to appease this one person.
Yeah.
And that's the wild chat, CJ, chat, Kaz, Mary, Tasha, B-Bean. He has screwed everyone else for this person. So why would you then screw this person?
Yes.
Because Keanu's plan, and Vince knows the plan, tell her it's Lauren, then double cross her and still do Ashley.
Yeah.
That's the plan. He's aware of the plan. There's no way anyone would believe that that's not the plan. She even says, well, what if he does this and then double crosses me? And then he's like, he wouldn't do that. Everyone would hate him.
Everyone already hates him.
Correct. Why does the unemployed man not understand this?
So, like, Morgan, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but Morgan uses the veto on herself. But, like, as I've talked about, like, all season, like, I'm a big fan of Morgan because I think she's real pretty. Well, this is one of those, like, oh, you're real pretty. Because not the brightest bulb in the box.
It's not that. There's something going, like, I think she has fallen for Vince.
You don't think this is just her being, like, an undyingly loyal person? You think there's, like, some kind of attraction here?
There is some kind of attraction there.
Maybe the feelings that she had for Zach just transferred.
Yeah, there's some kind of connection. Well, because Zach rebuffed her, right?
Yeah.
But Vince has, like, pulled her in.
It's bad.
And so there's some kind of attraction there.
Yes.
And so she was like, stop. She'll stop. She is Rachel Riley, Brendan. No one comes between her and her man. And it's on another level. Which is why when Vince goes home this week, Keanu is in her crosshairs.
Yeah.
Because right now the vote is going to be 4-3. The ones that are, because as you said, Morgan used the veto on herself, and sure enough, Keanu renommed Ashley. They were trying to get Ava on the block.
But Keanu had a conversation with Ava on, it was either Sunday night, when he just told her, I'm not putting you up. I like you.
Well, he grabbed her and he woke her up in the middle of the night and told her, I'm not putting you up, but they're all trying to get you up. So you should be voting for Vince to stay. Because Keanu's now trying to save Vince. And Kelly's like, why the fuck do we try to save Vince? Vince doesn't give a fuck about us.
Right.
Why are we trying to save Vince just for Vince to be with Morgan? Like, I don't understand.
It's not a showmance, but it's a showmance.
Yeah, like, we're going to save Vince. Because, like, Kelly, like, low-key kind of gets it. But someone commented the other day. Ashley and Kelly had a conversation that Kelly thought that they only watched the live feeds when they were doing game conversation. And then Rachel was like, no, the live feeds are on all the time, and people are watching
24/7.
all the time. And she's
Yeah.
like, so like people are watching like right now. She's like, yeah. And they said that Kelly's behavior has changed dramatically on the in the house because she didn't know that people are watching always. So
It's too late. We already know you suck.
correct. But
I went down a Reddit rabbit hole the other day where people were like, we never want to see someone like Kelly again because Kelly is an instigator that tries to act like she didn't do nothing. And it's like, we have receipts. You go and you stir the pot, and then you're like, it wasn't me, and you cry about it. But like, we all saw you stir the pot.
yeah. She sucks. But Kelly,
She's gonna suck. No, here's the worst part. She sucks. And now that she has made jury, I'm strongly considering taking her to final two. I gotta figure out how to way to work with her now. Because she's not gonna win. So if I can sit next to her, I'm gonna win. And she has no friends, which means I could be her one friend.
she has one friend in Lauren because Lauren has no friends. Lauren's everybody's friend, but no one's
Yeah.
friend at the same time. The thing that was funny is that Kelly was like, why are we trying to save Vince for him just to work with Morgan? And then it's just me, you, and Lauren to Keanu. He's like, no, Vince is with us. I'm gonna save him. And it's like, Keanu, I thought you understood that Vince doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a fuck about this. And Mary's right here in the chat. Lauren doesn't like that she's stuck with Keanu and Kelly. She doesn't. But she's looked up and she realized this is her lot in life. This is not what she thought was going to happen to her when she said she was going to play her favorite game. This is not where she saw herself. But here she is.
It's like playing Monopoly, and you only own the green properties and you're broke. Okay, so now I sit here and do nothing. And it's like I could either work with this idiot over here that owns half the board or this other idiot over here. This sucks.
Yeah. It sucks. And that's Lauren's situation. But yeah, Kelly's trying to work with she's like, why are we trying to save this dude? It doesn't make any sense. It's just a funny situation.
I'm honestly surprised that, and Keanu may not have thought about it, but I'm honestly surprised he hasn't just said I can't send a dude home. Because I look around and there's a whole bunch of you women left. And at what point do you not just look at the 3 dudes left in the house and be like, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
I would never say it, but I would be thinking it. And it's even sniveling little Vince right now, I would tell Vince, I don't want to work with you. But you need to understand my thought of there are 7 women and there's 3 men. And at some point, these women might go, well, there's only 3 men left.
But possibly 2 after this week.
And possibly 2 if I were to put your dumb ass up, because I don't want to work with you either. But I have to, because it's my lot in life.
Yeah. But you can't trust Vince, and that's the hard part, right? Is that Vince sucks.
Well, you could say that to Vince, and Vince would still throw you under the bus after you just laid out a reason for why the 2 of you should work together.
Yeah. Because Vince only cares about Vince, and that's what sucks. And I hope Vince goes home this week. So the way the votes are shaking out, right? Mickey has done a lot to redeem herself. She is in control of nothing. Mickey no longer controls anything.
Does Mickey know that she's not in control?
No, but she has worked her way back into the fold. Her and Rachel have made up. She has apologized for trying to come after Rachel. She now realizes that she's not really in control of much. She thinks that she's still kind of in control, but she's not. So, if Mickey wins the blockbuster, it's going to be Ashley versus
Ashley versus Vince would be 4-3.
They're supposed to be 4-3, maybe 5-2, but probably 4-3.
Yeah.
With Will, Ava, Rachel, and Mickey voting to save Ashley, and
maybe Morgan?
No, Morgan, Lauren, and maybe Kelly voting to save Vince. Kelly may vote out Vince because he sucks.
Yeah.
So that would be the votes there. If it is Vince and Mickey on the block and Ashley wins the blockbuster, it may still be. It will still probably be 4-3 with Ashley, Rachel. Well, that one's tougher, right? With Mickey and Vince, because do they go judges and vote out Mickey?
Or do you vote out Vince and bring in Mickey to replace him in the judges?
That's a good question. Like, do you just tell Morgan he was going to go work with Lauren and Kelly, so we just did this for our own game and help save you?
Yeah.
Because, like, Morgan doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, like,
that would be an interesting
actively not working with Mickey anymore.
Chat, what do you guys think? In a Vince versus Mickey vote, how do you guys think it goes? Do you think that they just say that Mickey's in the judges now and we ride? I think Ava might vote out Mickey in that situation.
So you think it's Will?
Ava thinks Mickey sucks.
So Will, Ashley, and Rachel definitely vote to save Mickey, you think?
I don't think definitely.
And I say that because Kelly's going to vote Mickey out, and Lauren will vote Mickey out. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah,
they also might be mad at Vince. You're right. That's 5 votes we don't know what happens with.
Because if you think that Mickey's going to go anyway, you might as well, if you think they're already going to vote Mickey, you might as well just flip and go with Morgan, and then you go judges strong. Because Mickey's already not in the judges.
Yeah.
And then you're like, look, we saved the judges. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay, we saved the judges. Vince, we told you we had.
And I think you need you either way, you have to save the judges, whether it be you save Vinny or you cut Vinny and bring in Morgan, but you might as well save Vinny at that point so you don't lose any trust with Morgan. Because you need 5 at 9. You need 5 people at 9.
Right. So
because you need 5 people at 9. So hold on. You need 5 people at 9 because at 9, even with 2 of you on the block, the other 3 force a tiebreaker.
Yeah. So Tasha says Will and Rachel want to ride with the judges for 2 more weeks. Ashley wants to cut Vince. So I think that Will and Rachel will win out because it just makes more sense to appease Morgan. You cut Mickey here, even though Mickey's better for their game.
Yes.
This judge situation, but the thing is, like we've been talking about, chat, like Vince sucks, and he only does what's best for him, and so Mickey's better for their game, but it's better to keep Morgan appeased. Because even then it's 4-4, but then that's still not a bullet pointed at Rachel. It's not a gun pointed at Rachel or Will, so that's fine. And because if Vince turncoats again and goes back to Lauren and Kelly and Keanu, then it's 4v4.
It's 4v4, and whoever wins the HOH that week owns the numbers.
But it's only 4 versus 3 in the HOH competition.
Also true.
In that situation. So there's that. And then if Vinny wins the blockbuster, Ashley stays over Mickey, no question.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Yeah, Ashley's safe right now.
Yeah.
Like, Ashley is in Ava's spot last week, where, like, if Ashley even had a potential to go home, it would have came up already, and they haven't talked about it.
Well, Keanu tried. Keanu tried, right? So he tells her that, and then Ava talks to Rachel earlier today, and she's like, don't worry about it. Whatever Keanu said, I don't believe him. Ava did check with Will. Will's like, I don't know if they tried to pitch you, but maybe. And then after that conversation, she had another conversation with Will and said, even if they did try to pitch me, frankly, it's okay. Do I think that they tried to pitch me? No. Do I think that they tried to say, don't put up Ava? No. But do I think that I would vote out Ashley over Vince? No. So,
Yeah.
because Vinny the Lip, he be saying whatever he want to say. And so, she'll happily send Vinny the Lip home. So, that's where that's at. CJ, you got anything else?
I am very excited to see how they handled this week of gameplay.
Yeah.
With the Wednesday episode and then the Thursday episode. I also don't know when we're going to get our next set of episodes because the VMAs are next Sunday, so there's no Big Brother.
Oh. Good question.
Yeah.
Preempted.
Yes, sir.
Probably
I mean,
Tuesday,
VMAs
Wednesday.
and first week of football season, it's probably a good week to preempt.
Probably some Tuesday, Wednesday situation going on. But we'll be back on Monday. We'll try
Maybe
to
a
tell y'all
2-hour
what happened.
episode on Wednesday?
Maybe. We'll try to tell y'all what happened, at least from what we know, because they're still playing. And
Yeah.
we'll still be able to tell you at least what happened at the end, and we'll give you just the whole episode will be spoilers. And I think Mary's correct, a triple is coming. Triple
So
is coming.
they talked about it a little in the chat earlier when they said that they got to send 7 people home in 4 weeks because the finale is a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Mathematically, we're gonna need at least 2 doubles, and then maybe you have a situation where like you do a special, somebody goes home on Sunday and then somebody goes home on Thursday. A week, like you do a truncated week. But I think that maybe we get a triple and a double.
Yeah. We're coming to an end of another season. It's been crazy. It's getting better. Season started off real rocky. They sucked at the beginning. They're still not great game players, but we're getting through it.
Yeah.
Coming to you. Oh, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank y'all for joining us. Come back again next week, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank y'all for hanging out. Chat, Cass, Mary, Tasha, Jackie, Arthur, B-Bean, everybody that popped through the chat. Thank y'all for joining us. Coming to you from outside the Big Brother house. Good night.
Peace.